How much time did we give you guys to do this? 15 minutes. And what was your skill level when you started? None. 0. Very little, right? How did it make you feel being in this multiplayer collaborative environment?
It was fun.
It was fun. Nervous.
Why were you nervous?
Because you didn't have much time.
Okay, so that you had the pressure of time.
Yes.
Right?
My nervousness came from didn't want to mess everybody else up. Because
Okay.
I'm new at it, so it was like I was literally looking at a bucket of fish, and I dumped it to see what the bucket of fish looked like, and I made a bunch of water with fish everywhere. So we were like, "Oh, what do we do with that now?" So then we had to play cleanup with it. So some of it's just that nervous that you don't want to mess everybody else's project part of it up.
Great. So your inquiry, you're wanting to know what this bucket of fish was going to do. How did the rest of the group react to your water and fish everywhere?
Yeah, hey, there's fish swimming in there. That's awesome.
Okay. So did that inquiry lead to collaboration?
Yeah, because then we tried to contain the water. And...
Okay, because otherwise it flows, right?
Right.
Dig down.
Okay, good. Anybody else? Now, you guys stated that at the beginning, it took you a little bit longer to get yourself organized.
Well, we were deciding what landmarks we were thinking about. Let's do that. Then I thought, okay, then we were talking about community, and I said, oh, let's talk about community. We're pigs. Let's do a farm corral kind of thing.
Okay.
Then I guess I liked how everybody did their own thing. Like some people did landmarks. We went on the community spin, but yet included like landmarks, like trying to finish the school and the library and the beach, try to incorporate, but playfully with a pig in mind.
Right. So you guys put a little bit of a different twist to it. Did you still meet the objectives?
We tried.
We tried to. So did we see things that were pertinent to Pensacola or to your community? Did we see those things?
Yeah.
Were you able to build and identify those things for us?
Sure.
Absolutely. Was it exactly the same as the lighthouse or the water tower or the ice house? Okay? It was a little bit different, which is great because you have the ability to take your group's creativity and twist that to make it your own. Okay? And that's perfectly fine. We were all meeting the objectives that we gave you, right? But you all were able to use your own creativity. Did anybody feel kind of intimidated? Now, some of you said you were kind of intimidated because you didn't want to break what your other people were doing. Did you struggle getting going?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
No, because we had 15 minutes. We better start building.
So does the time frame really play a factor for you?
Yes.
Okay. How did that make you feel?
Anxious.
Anxious? Okay. Did it make you focus a little bit more?
Yeah. I think it makes it more exciting. And see, like their group like that is probably, like you mentioned earlier, we have those kids who don't want to interact, they don't want to talk to anybody. So to let a group like that roll and just start putting stuff in, they may not want to talk to each other and say, okay, let's do this, let's do this. Everybody just dump something in and just see where that falls. Okay. And that might work out great instead of fighting them about why aren't y'all working together? Why aren't,
Or if it doesn't, maybe they'll see that doesn't really work and they're going to have to talk.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, is there anybody in here that is a big introvert? That typically is more quiet to yourself? Okay? Okay. No, and this is good for me to know because I want to ask from your perspective, I would have never guessed that from you two especially in this activity. And it was just like you said, you automatically get in there and you forget about all of that because you're so engaged and you're focused on this time that we have to build this something, right? Did you feel at any point in time like you guys changed to be an extroverted leader by chance? Did you ever take that leadership role and say, should we do this? Can we do this? Or did you ask questions if you were unsure?
I asked questions.
I think it was more like asking questions and like kind of like not necessarily like taking the lead, but like asking questions, like helping each other and like, oh look, my bucket of water just spilled an entire lake of water. What do we do with this? Yeah. And oh, we can dig a hole and it goes deeper. And so it was more kind of like building off of each other, not so much like taking the lead, I guess.
So let me ask you this. Taking this and I want you guys to put your teacher hats on now because you just had student hats on. I want you to take this and think about how this is going to look like, what it's going to look like in your classroom. How are your students going to behave with this type of environment? What are some things that we need to think about before we do a multiplayer or collaborative build in our classroom?
Definitely want to think about the personalities of the children you're putting together, because there are several strong leaders in my classroom who will sort of take over and get a little forceful with their suggestions. So you have to think about the personalities working together.
Okay, and I'm glad you brought that up because I want you to think about those strong personalities. And that's natural in a regular classroom environment. And you will find that those strong personalities may not be so strong in this environment. And where you will have those introverted people that will now all of a sudden, this is kind of their jam, this is their element, and they will now take over and help, because I've noticed, again, it's not making students gamers, okay? It's taking gamers and making them students. And when we do that, oftentimes those gamers are really confident. We know Minecraft, we're coming in, we're doing good, but we're now taking them and putting them on the same platform. They don't have a game controller in front of them. They have a computer and a mouse, and so we're putting everybody on the same playing field. And now those academic students that might excel out here, that may not be as creative, and those that are non-academic more so sometimes, often shine in this environment. And so when we're creating groups, I want to caution you guys to try and just keep things evenly balanced. Okay, we sometimes have that idea of, oh, we're going to put this person here and this person because they're normal personalities, they'll clash. Challenge yourself to try and put those students together and see what happens.